You are now listening to the Lasting Legacy Podcast.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Lasting Legacy Podcast. Just to let you know that you guys all are terrible people, and no one entered the Squawk gift card giveaway except for my wife. So congratulations, Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
My wife wanted 25. She won $5 gift cards to Squawk Coffee because she's the only one that entered. So we won't be doing giveaways anymore unless my wife requests it. Anyway, be sure to go subscribe to the YouTube channel real quick before we start this, after I just ridiculed you, for chances to never enter a giveaway again. Today we have Crissy Cortez. She is owner of Big Rack Boutique, located down here in Pueblo, kind of right off the Riverwalk area. So we're going to talk to her about her adventure of just jumping in the deep end and see where we go. So welcome.
That's right. Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Of course. Absolutely. I'm David. I own David Took It Photography, Videography, and I ask most of the questions around here. So let's get into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Crissy Cortez. I am 44 years old and going strong.
Nice.
But born and raised here, still out in the county. I went to school out there and kind of lived my life, started a family at a younger age, got married. I was raised in a Christian church as well, so it was kind of like, kind of do it the right way type of thing.
No, for sure.
So then I didn't get into school right away the way I should have. But when I did, I started out in law enforcement security. One of my first jobs was as an LP at Home Depot.
Oh, I did not know
funny.
Home Depot had LP.
They don't
do very good, do they?
Yeah, and I killed it because most of them there didn't realize that this chick was security and taking them all out, and it was pretty.
Ran the distraction.
Intense. Yeah. So I've always kind of been like that adrenaline junkie. Anyway, I grew up with 2 brothers, and most of my cousins my age were boys. So I was always like the little tom girl hanging out with all the guys all the time, and fishing, getting our hands dirty, and we hunt a lot too.
Nice.
Hence the reason for Big Rack Boutique, but we'll get into that later. But so I did security for a while, and then I also was offered a job at the prison. So
Which prison?
So that was Werfeno County, CCA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Forget that.
That was tough and interesting.
# kill privatized prisons. Anyway.
Yep.
Not a fan.
Yeah, no, totally agree. So that was short-lived because I was doing that, and I was working LP still, security, and then I was working graveyard out there at the prison, and also raising 2 little ones too. So
when did you sleep?
Hardly
at
ever.
Work?
Hardly ever.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, so then I was offered a job, so still in the security side of it, and being an adrenaline junkie as well. I was picked up by National Executive Armed Force Security, which is even more exciting.
I was going to say, do you want to explain to the people what that is?
And to Brad.
So basically what it was what I was doing essentially with LP at Home Depot. And so it basically was a private security, which we were able to carry a firearm, which, gave us a little more, what'd you say? Little more
authority.
Yeah, I guess you say, because we were able to cuff, detain.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now
that you say that, is that I'm assuming they have contracts with like the bank. Is that them? Those guys?
No.
Okay, that's something different.
It's just a private security company,
so it could be
based out
anything.
of Denver. Yeah, so they would contract with a lot of different places. So what they focused on more though was like the retail, because there was a lot of theft and
Ulta and stuff like that.
And basically when I started, the amount of theft to prosecute was $20. And today
Oh,
is
that's easy.
like 2,000,
Oh, it's $2,000.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
like that. It's way up there from what I was told or heard. So
Wow.
the last time I got an email, because I used to get emails all the time in regards to that when I used to be in it. My email's been the same for a while. It was at 1,500, and then I heard that they raised
Wow.
it again. So
That's interesting. I did not know that. I mean, it makes sense, but
yeah.
That was my favorite part of working retail, was trying to catch people stealing.
Yeah, yeah. So that whole adrenaline, and then with National Executive, we also did bounty hunting too. So I had
Oh, that's
a
cool.
few episodes of that. Yeah, which was
Damn.
pretty
Yeah.
interesting. So
that sounds terrifying.
yeah.
Shout
No,
out
it
to all
was-
those bounty hunters, because you would never find me doing that.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, and like I said,
A&E TV makes it look fun with dog.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Him with his paintball gun and his mace. Yeah. Great
do you guys
conversation.
remember when they were here in Pueblo?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a crazy day.
I
Like,
met Leland the son at Waterworld one time, of all places.
that's wild.
Did you?
Yeah, so
That's
random.
crazy. I met his other son in prison.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, when you worked there.
Yeah. He was in the
That's-
feds for a while. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it was around the same time that Beth was going through her health issues. So, like, I would hear the phone calls from Dog and his son to figure out, like, what's going on. And then you would, like, pull up, like, the tabloids and see how wrong everything else was.
How funny.
Yeah, it's super interesting to have, like, kind of that inside. But,
Yeah.
it was super
So you
interesting.
leaking info to E or what?
No, not me, but
Oh,
it
okay.
very well easily could have been done.
It was all
Yeah,
him.
yeah, no, it's very easy.
The
But
TMZ plug, David.
the TMZ plug. I hate
funny.
TMZ too, but
Yeah,
anyway, so yeah, you're with the security company.
Yes, and promoted.
Mm-hmm.
So then moved to Denver. So I was actually in charge of a lot of our posts and contracts, and I did training.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was really interesting. I loved it, and it was something that I took a lot of pride in too, because well, and then being in charge, being a manager, it's one of those things. But the perks of it. But I took it personal too whenever we would contract with like the retailers,
Yeah.
because essentially they're taking people that hide theft. They're taking food off of somebody's table, potential raises, and so I mean it's just that whole butterfly effect, really. So yeah, I took a lot of pride in it, and I loved my job, loved it. And then time went on, and in 2012 is when my whole life changed. And I was actually apprehending a suspect that we had been looking for, and of course, with all of my nerves and the adrenaline and everything, by that evening I got extremely sick and found myself in the ER, and that's when I found out that I had a really large tumor on my C-spine. Changed my whole life.
That's insane.
So,
Do you want to kind of go into that and touch on that?
I can, yeah. So then, and when people say that they see the light and they see death, they face death, you always kind of wonder, like, do they really? But I'm a true believer, and I faced that, I saw that, I felt that. So on my ride to the ER, I actually saw different aspects of my life, and my mom actually holding me when I was born.
From the third person, like you saw it, like kind of looking in.
Yeah, I was like that total out-of-body experience, and just seeing my whole life, from birth on, and, when I had my kids even. And so it was pretty serious, and my family, they were all out of town, so I didn't have anybody here with me when I got the news. And the tumor happened to be about the size of a grapefruit, really. So it was
Damn.
really huge. Yeah, and the tumor was attached to my spine, which has affected my right eye. They've taken nerves out of the right side of my body, also my vocals. So I've since then lost sight in my right eye. I don't have any peripherals, so if you're gonna sneak up on me,
Yeah, do it from the right
this
side.
yeah, they get me all the time. So
crazy.
it's been been an adjustment, a life
sure.
adjustment. But at the same time, like now, today, looking back, I'm grateful for it because it's changed a lot in my life and the way I value things now.
No, for sure. It kind of puts things into perspective, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because going back to what I did before with the security and like, I mean, I would, without hesitation, walk up to men your size and, you know, have to detain somebody your size and, you know, take control of the situation without fear. You know,
no,
I wouldn't walk up to men my size and do
so,
that.
yeah.
Brad's not that big, just so people know.
I'm pretty big.
But no, it's, you know, it gives you, you know, puts things into perspective and gives you, you know, like a greater appreciation for the little things that, you know, you take advantage of every day. You know, think about when you go to sleep with a stuffy nose, you took for granted every time you could breathe normally, you know, because your nose is all stuffy. You know?
Yeah. So it's definitely an adjustment. So, I couldn't go back to doing what I was doing with national. So I, you know, as far as like my trigger finger, my eye, you know.
Oh, that's your dominant eye, I'm assuming too. I didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, changed my whole life. And today realizing it's for the better.
No, for sure.
You know, so
that's good that you were able to transform that into a, you know, a positive experience, because I feel like when you go through something like that, it's very easy to slip into like a deep depression and, you know, kind of poor me instead of, you know, jumping up and, you know, really taking life by the balls again, you know.
Right. Yeah. And I'm very stubborn too. So my odds weren't too good. So before surgery, they had told us that it was going to be like a 12.5-hour surgery.
Damn.
Good Lord.
Give or take. And then to see if we can't get this removed from my body and it, you know, be a good outcome. So it was hard to digest, you know,
absolutely.
and kind of accept because, you know, I had my kids and they were younger. And so a couple weeks before surgery, I have this place in Beulah that I absolutely love. I went out there alone with a notebook and a pencil or a pen. I wrote everybody a personal goodbye letter in case I didn't make it out of it. So it was just surreal, you know, to face that. And after surgery, recovery was pretty tough and, you know, going through physical therapy and everything, and had a mild stroke and had to do a lot of physical therapy to learn, you know,
dexterity and everything again.
Yeah, it was tough. And then going through all of that, then, you know, finding out that I had another small chest wall tumor, carcinoma in situ, and then had to do treatment for that. So it was just kind of like that snowball of like, what now, you know, and a test of faith. And, you know, and I was angry and couldn't understand why. And, you know, we all ask those questions. Yeah. But, so I actually was doing treatment and, of course, lost my hair and had eye surgeries to see if I can, you know, help out with that. I went through a time where I completely lost my voice. I couldn't even talk. So that was, I woke up one day and I didn't have a voice, and I was like, what the heck, you know? So
didn't have a voice, didn't have hair, couldn't see, you know, like I'm sure motor skills weren't where they used to be.
Right.
You know, so that, you know.
So, but, you know, losing my voice wasn't right away. It happened later on. So I started working when I was 14 years old. My very first job was at Dairy Queen on Lake and Summit.
That's the best one.
Love that place. Yeah, heck yeah. So
they had the crunch cone for the longest time. Past all the other Dairy Queens.
I love the crunch cone. Those are my favorite, by the way. So, and then, you know, going through all of that and not being able to work and even take care of myself, really, much less my kids, going down and asking for help and applying for disability was denied every single time, and that kind of leads me into like where we are today. So I applied all 3 times, denied, and
For disability, correct?
for disability, for any kind of help, and it was tough,
And you're still going through treatment, and you still can't work at this time, correct?
And
Yeah.
then people wonder how come we have like a homeless problem or something,
Right.
and it's like there's no
Yeah.
help for
Help.
people.
No
Yeah.
help, I mean, it's like that stuck in that donut hole of, pressed against the wall of where to now. And, I lost a lot of things and material things, my job, income, cashed out on things, bankruptcy, and it was really, really tough. And being told, you don't qualify, there's nothing we could do for you, but you can hire a lawyer with the money you don't
And sue
have
us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
and fight this disability. So I got really upset and angry
Rightfully
about
so.
that. And so, talked to my mom and dad, and of course they're amazing and, will do anything for me and to help me, or my brothers or any of our family. And I said, you know what? I know that God has another plan for me. Like, this isn't it. I'm still here. We made it through it. We're going to move on and move forward. And I'm very stubborn. So I said, I'll figure it out. And then that's when I got into school again. And I decided medical. I'll do that short-term program and at least get my foot in the door. And so that's what I did. And I put a lot into it because I was once that patient, that needed that care and needed those authorizations, needed that push, needed those medications, those appointments, those specialties. So it meant a lot to me. So I got into family practice. And so I was offered an externship at a family practice here in town, and they landed up hiring me on.
Nice.
And I loved it. I
That's
loved
awesome.
it. And I was like, maybe this is it. This is my calling. This is what I should be doing, And I had a special bond with all of them because it was personal to me. And
Yeah,
again,
absolutely.
and I've been there. I am one of those patients. I know what it takes, I know how stressful it is to wait on appointments
yeah.
and authorizations and all of those things. So, and plus I was thankful that I could be that person for them
Yeah, of
too,
course.
so I put a lot into it, and I loved my job. I loved it, and I loved all the great people and patients. It was family practice, so it was from the babies all the way to geriatric. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I'm sure you like that part as well.
loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah. And so did that for a while, and then I just kind of felt like I was getting pressed against the wall of like, I'm doing this, I love it, but financially it's not working at all. Like, I feel like I'm in this hole, in this rut, and I can't get out of it. And then when I started to feel like that, that's when I woke up one day and I didn't have a voice. So I was working at the doctor's office by this time. And that was really hard.
Yeah.
That was really, really hard. And, you need your voice. You have to communicate with the patients.
Yeah, of
You have to
course.
make phone calls. And I couldn't do any of that. So I was out without a voice for a few months. And,
Wow.
and then,
That's
Damn.
insane.
yeah, it was tough.
And it was already tight as it is, what I mean? So to be without total income for 3 months again, wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah. So talk about
stressful.
weathering the storms,
Yeah, no kidding.
So I did that so once I had the vocal repair, and then I had to see a speech therapist for a while too. So that took time and
Money.
and money
yeah.
and time away from work. And so my mom always says, like, with your entire life you can write a book.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So so once I got through with all of that, and so I'm always kind of raspy, and if I'm not feeling well, it affects me even more. And so now I have not only my eye issues and my right hand issues, I have vocal issues, and then along with my lungs. But I'm here and I'm able to share a testimony and know that my test of faith has been put on the line every time.
Yeah, absolutely. How long were you at the doctor's office before you left? Can we talk about that transition? Because that's where you went from doctors to self-employed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go into that.
So I was there for almost 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And my last annual review, I had asked for a raise. Is there a potential raise this time? And it was like, no, not this time. And then
Keep killing it though.
Inflation's 8%, guys. Give me a
and
raise.
I was like, there's no way. We see like so many patients. So it was hard for me to understand. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe if I ask for part-time, will you guys support with me going back to school so I could further my education and, possibly get into like the hospital RN. And they didn't offer that at the doctor's office that I was at. So that day is when it was a moment of impact for me and changed my whole life, essentially. Again, So that day I left work and I detoured and I drove off and I cried. And I swear everybody around me that was driving next to me probably thought I was crazy because I was yelling and I had to come to Jesus that day. And I was just like, why did you keep me here? Like, why did you give me another shot at this? Why am I still suffering? Why am I still struggling? Why is this going on? And all these questions, I mean, we're human. We do that. We get angry and we wonder why. But that day, I asked God to give me an answer. Like, I know you saved me and you spared me for my kids. That's a given. You chose me to be their mom. Like, I know that's what I have to do. That's my role. That's my job. But what else am I supposed to do? Like,
What's the bigger calling?
Yeah, I'm struggling here. I'm like, I'm still scraping the barrel. And, not to mention that, I've had all these stepping stones and people in my life that, have been there for me. And I'm super grateful for that. But like me as a person and being prideful, like I always want to take control and figure things out on my own and not ask for help, So that was my main question. Like, tell me what I'm supposed to do. Like, what am I supposed to do with my life? What's my next step? Where do I go from here? I feel like I'm stuck in this rut and I'm not getting ahead. So I swore and I prayed about it and I said, give me an answer. Give me an answer. Tell me what I'm supposed to do and I won't question you. I'll have full faith. I'll jump in and we're in it. And I will believe in you and I'll trust in you and I'll go from there and I won't have any doubts. I asked for it. And that night, again, going back to what I was telling you, I prayed again before bed and I was like, it's me again, God. I'm knocking. Like, I talk to him all the time. He's my backbone now. Like, I'm not trying to get, preachy or religious, but like, I'm not ashamed to admit that, he is my backbone. He is the reason. And he is other than my kids and my family, like he is my purpose, because he gave me that shot again. So I prayed again before bed, and this is taking us right into Big Rack. So, I asked him again, like, please, I am so vulnerable right now and I'm so weak. I don't know what you want me to do and what my purpose is, but I will do it. So without any questions, that night I had a dream, and it was so vivid. And in this dream was where I'm at today with my boutique. And hence the reason for Big Rock Boutique. And here we are. And I'm so happy. I'm so thankful. And like I always say when people, you know, how are you doing? How are things going? You know, honestly, it's tough. It's the hardest thing I think I've faced other than my health, because I've never done this before. But I woke up that next morning and I was like, oh man, I asked for it. Here we go. Let's do it. Like I'm jumping in both feet.
You go to Google, how do I open a boutique?
Yeah. So I went to work the next day and I was still like, oh man, like I asked for it. And I made a promise that I won't question and I'll do it. So in between patients, I was going to the exam rooms and I just started Googling, how do I open a shop? How do I, you know, get a license? And that's where I went from there, not knowing anything. So I just kind of jumped in and no financial advisement. And like I was telling David, had I seen it on a chalkboard, whiteboard, black and white piece of paper, like what I was up against, I would have never done it. I would have been so scared. But
So
fear's
much.
a liar, you know. I was once told by a good friend of mine that, you know, because we all fail, we all stumble, but you know, the only person that can tell you no is the person in the mirror. And so
You have to fail
yeah.
to do anything in life. Yeah.
Yeah. So
One of my favorite quotes is, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Basically, like,
All in
if
you.
you think you can do it, you can. If you don't think you, then you can't do it. Like,
Yeah.
that's always been one of my favorite quotes.
I like that.
That's huge. So how long did you stay? Well, I guess what I'm asking is, what was the time frame between the vivid dream and you putting in your 2 weeks?
It was
5 days.
It was seriously. It was like it was within a few months.
Okay. So you were doing research.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Clicking the same links, clicking the purple links you were
Seriously,
already
I
doing.
was-
You know, yeah.
I was on it.
Yeah.
You know, especially because like I cried for it. I begged for it.
Yeah.
So I was, you know, and so growing up in the old school way, you know, you give a handshake and the word of mouth is, I mean,
It's good.
I wish we had that
gold.
still, you know,
Yeah.
and we don't have that like we used to.
No, absolutely not.
You know, and like this is the big man. Like I gave him my word, I'll follow, and I'm not going to question. So I was like, oh, I can't procrastinate on this one. I got to get busy.
Yeah.
I had very little money saved, like very, very little money saved. And that's what I started with.
So
And-
I guess we can get into that. How did you determine what products you were going to carry? And did you start this out of your house, or did you go right into an actual storefront?
I went right into a storefront.
That's
I started looking around and like, you know, as far as business spaces to rent, with the little bit of money that I had, trying to budget, you know, like, can I afford rent here? And then I'm going to have to look into product. What kind of product am I going to
How much
carry?
product do you carry?
Yeah. Because
What sizes?
sizes, like clueless, completely clueless, blinded going into this. Not to mention I only have one eye anyway, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I completely clueless. And I was calling around to different, you know, places and spaces that were available and not in my budget at all. And then, of course, you know, everybody wants to be downtown.
Of course.
You know, the heart of Pueblo. And
That's where we're at right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I called some of them down there. I even went down there on an evening and walked the shops and stuff and called some of those availabilities, vacancies.
They
and-
never answer. They never answer, I swear.
I did. I had a hard time with a few of them too.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I did, I was like, thank you for your time.
Yeah, right. $2,500
Yeah.
for your 800 square foot unit.
No joke.
And there's somebody who lives above me.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. And then it was crazy. So it was one of those things that just kind of fell on my lap too. Right up the street from me, where I live, they're right there by the Mesa Drive-In, in that little complex there.
Where the Chinese food is.
Right next door. Yes, right next door. That place was available. And they finally had put a notification up on top and a phone number. So I was like,
This is it.
call it.
Yeah.
So I called, and the landlords are amazing people, younger couple. I'll always be thankful for them because they really helped me like get going and stuff, and they were very, very generous. So that was my location, and then having a location, I got my license and started applying. Like, how do you even buy things? You know, how do you even carry things?
It's not
So
like
I'm
you could go to the
Googling
Buckle and buy that and then upcharge what they just sold, you know?
So I had no idea how any of this worked.
What's the sales tax? And like,
Yeah,
all the little
exactly.
stuff,
So it was just surreal to me and scary. Very, very, very scary.
Couldn't even imagine, you know, going from a safe 9 to 5, having a dream, doing some research, and then you're like, all right, I'm going into this brick and mortar. I'm signing, I'm sure it was a year lease. You know, I have to fulfill this, and I have to pay my mortgage at the very least.
Yeah.
You know, I could walk to work if I have to, but, you know, that's extremely admirable because I would never do that. You know, like I'm very thought out, like this money has to be here, you know. So how long were you in the county?
So I was in the county for about a half a year. And then I was contacted about a vacancy down on Union, and said, we need you down. We need a store like yours down on Union, and which was kind of an honor, you know.
Yeah, especially since they reached out to you.
Yeah. So the landlord, the lady who owned the building that I'm in right now, is the one that was kind of turned on to me. And so it was just like, when I say I am blessed, you guys, I seriously am. And I don't have enough words to express my gratitude to where I am today, and like all the wonderful people I've met, and how things kind of just like have fallen into place. And
it's like things happen exactly how they're supposed to.
Yeah, so she actually said, you know, like, I was told about you. I've had so many people interested in our space, but I would really like to meet you. I would like to come out and see what you have to offer. Because when I started buying wholesale and stuff, like, you know, as far as when you asked me, like, you know, did you know what you were going to carry? What's your market? And I basically wanted to have something for everybody, you know, but I wanted to keep it geared toward what I liked, my market, and, you know, and offer that not only for the women, but the kids and the guys. So I started with something for everybody in the family. And then I also opened it up for consignment, like, let's bring in all the local stuff. And
here's
like,
your rack. And that's awesome.
yeah, so I did that, and I felt like, you know, I was given this opportunity to try something new, do something new, and go with it in full faith. Why not offer somebody else the opportunity to get, you know, started somewhere as well, you know, and put it out there. But yeah, so I actually moved from the county out to Union, and that's where I am today. But I had to break that contract also.
I was going to say, so you signed a year lease. 6 months later, you're like, hey, I gotta go,
Yeah.
that's terrifying as well.
Yeah. So I actually cried about it because I didn't know these people were so amazing to help me, get going, and they knew that it was tough, and being in the business as well. So they actually were very understanding, and
That's good.
They pretty much blessed me and gave me their blessing and said, no, you need to be downtown.
That's cool.
Go with it. Roll with it, and we're going to void your contract.
That's perfect.
So it just
awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. Everything just kind of like I said, everything just kind of has fallen into place, and I don't have the words to quite put together.
So
definitely
how thankful I am.
It's definitely nice too to have to downtown to have other shops like that, because no offense to these antique stores, but there's too many antique stores down there full of nothing that no one ever wants. So
I
I'm
swear
like,
it's the same stuff every time.
yeah,
we
we should get cool shops. People are like, oh, I want to go shopping. They can come to downtown Pueblo to go shopping, not to buy old license plates or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
No, honestly, because so my gig is Manitou Springs. I love Manitou Springs.
Yeah.
All the shops and eatery, and it's just the vibe over there is just popping all the time. And I wish ours was like that here.
Yeah,
I feel like it's headed in that direction.
Yeah.
Slowly, but we're
Slowly.
the food hall and different things opening up there.
Yeah.
That's definitely helping. I don't know where the open container liquor thing is going, where people can walk around with drinks. But I mean,
downtown.
Some people will be like, "Oh, that's a terrible idea," but everywhere else does. So
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea as well.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch the fights between the favorite and prime, or what is it, the Senate? Yeah, right in between. People going back and forth. That'd be so funny. But can you go into where you got your name?
So my name.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an icebreaker. So it's funny to because there's been times where I've actually I like when the weather's nice because I get to prop my door open and I get to hear people's conversations sometimes before they walk in, and it's like, oh, Big Rack Boutique, let's see what this is about. And, and that whole conversation of, and then usually it's the guys that are like, well, let's go see what kind of racks are in here. And so it's kind of funny. But so going back, like I said, I come from a hunting family as well. So we have a lot of racks in the family.
Yeah.
A lot of antler racks, but yeah, so when I was trying to figure out a name for the boutique, I wanted something different, but I knew I wanted to gear it toward that Southern gypsy cowgirl flair that I like. And I didn't want to do the basic, I wouldn't say basic, but
the common,
I guess the common theme of the steerhead. Boutique look. So, but I also do steerhead. Also, I do custom for those, and I do I paint them, I decorate them.
They look really cool. She showed me a few of them.
Yeah,
they're really cool.
I love doing them. They take time, but I love it. I love art. Art is my gig too.
That makes sense. Fashion, art goes hand in hand.
Yeah,
Brad, numbers,
love
that
it.
goes hand in hand.
You're gonna have to bring your wife in.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll have more fun than me.
Yeah.
He's the least artistic guy I've ever met.
Really?
For anything.
Yeah. I don't have much of imagination when it comes to that. Yeah, my wife just picks out my clothes and dresses me.
You
Thanks,
haven't
Jennifer.
made them.
Yeah, she'll have,
you don't even
she'll
have
have fun.
pick anything out of your closet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I simplify it. Jeans, t-shirt.
Jeans, t-shirt, and hat.
Dark color.
Super dark colors. So how long have you been down on Union now?
So, last month, actually, the 18th met my 3-year mark
That's
in
exciting.
business.
Awesome.
Huge.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
huge. Yeah,
I know,
absolutely.
right? And it just, it kind of it's been a struggle because I had just opened not long before we got hit with this pandemic, and that was scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I didn't know how I was going to make it.
Nobody
And that
did,
stress, along with everybody else, that, how am I going to support my family? How am I going to pay my bills? And
But you've been through it.
Yeah.
So it's like it prepared you in a weird way.
Yeah. Seriously, I never really thought about it like that, but yeah.
That's interesting.
So it was tough. So I had to get a part-time job and essential job and figure out how I was gonna pay the bills.
So did you go work at Home
keep
Depot and
it.
Walmart because they were pretty essential then?
No, I was. Where I went is Hobby Lobby.
Oh, there you
And
go.
you know what? I loved it.
The artsy, meet a lot of
Get a
like-minded
discount
people.
maybe there or something.
Take
some cool
advantage of
stuff.
those perks.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
That's awesome.
I was at Kohl's a couple days ago. I was like, dang, they got some. I might get a part-time job over here at Kohl's.
Right? Just to
Yeah.
get
Get some discount.
Get discounts.
Yeah.
Some of those discounts are nice to have too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was pretty tough. And then shout out to Gonzalez Electric. So
Those guys,
Yeah. So Nick is my brother. He's one of the owners of him and Rick. But the first month that I was, we were shut down and wasn't able to be in business, they actually paid my rent.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they paid my rent that first month, and total blessing. And it kind of took a lot of the weight off and the stress, So I'll always be thankful for that. And they kept me afloat too.
That's really awesome.
And the generosity of that. So I'm super thankful. And then my landlords too, they were understanding and supportive. If I had to pay rent late, I was okay. Let's waive a fee for the late fee. But I made it through that.
That's good.
So shut down for that. That was tough. I'm not good at social media, so I wasn't able to to do, sell things on a website or so. Then I started posting. So everybody was making their masks.
Oh, yeah.
I carried the bandanas. So I posted that, and I was doing deliveries, and I was selling
awesome.
those, and just
You almost have to adapt in
Yeah.
that
That's
situation.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so those kept me afloat too. And then we were able to slowly start opening. Business was very, very slow. It was scary, and there I was putting my faith back in.
Yeah.
And
people were scared to go outside, stuff like that. Some people were. Your target demographic is, pretty interesting. So I don't know if they were necessarily scared, but they were probably out of work too. It was real tight times. Nobody could really spend money on the extra stuff. I think we talked about that as well. I talked to a personal trainer recently too, and he was like, the last couple months have been really slow, and he's like, I'm not sure why, and I'm like, well, obviously gas prices are up, food prices are up, if you were to tell me like you got to X out something in your life, the first thing I'm going to cut out is my personal trainer, it's not my favorite thing to do, so that makes sense, like
Disposable incomes.
Exactly.
Getting lower, getting smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy time. So during that time, we opened back up again, and then I was shut down again. So like all the odds were, against not just me, but all of us. And then getting back in the flow again because so I banked on when I first moved, going back when I first moved into the union space. Like I had just opened my doors for business in late August.
Oh, okay.
And then right around the corner was the chili festival. So
How
I
was
was
that?
not prepared at all.
Interesting. Was it busier than you thought, or the hours were being longer, or what was it?
So, and then, that was before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So that was before the pandemic hit, and I wasn't prepared. I didn't have, I went from an 800 square feet little spot out in the county to a 2,000 square foot location.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't have enough product. What am I
fill
going
it
to
up.
put out there? Because, they ask you for the festival, do you want to rent out the space or do you want to use it? And I thought, no, perfect opportunity. I'll use it. And,
The space right out front of your storefront? Oh, okay.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's how they do it. I was always wondering.
Yeah.
So they give you, it's basically first dibs.
So if someone rents out the space in front of your shop, they pay you a rent fee, or what do you
No,
mean?
you just give it up and
Oh,
it's
then they
for
just
the
take your
city.
money
Or you can use it for yourself. That's
for free. Or
No.
what?
No, so so the chamber, the city offers you your the front of your
Store,
store for
But you still have
a
to pay for it.
booth. No, you don't. Have
Okay.
to pay
Oh,
for
okay.
it.
That's
you're
free.
That's what
basically-
I was wondering.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you're basically grandfathered in at that point.
Okay.
Nice.
Or you can waive it and then
They'll put
you
somebody
just
there.
yeah they'll put somebody there and
Gotcha.
that person will have to pay for that space.
I
Us
gotcha.
as far as like renters, owners, or anything, like we don't get anything for
Yeah.
it because it's all the chamber that
Yeah.
takes control of that. But yeah, so I was like, oh heck yeah, I'm gonna use it.
Yes.
And then on the back end, I'm
You're
like,
like, well, the
what am
store's
I gonna-
empty, but this
what am
space
I
is...
gonna put out there? I
Yeah.
have no idea what I'm gonna do.
If anything, it's just someone's not blocking your storefront at least. I
Yeah.
guess.
So yeah, true. But so what I did was I had to think about it. So I have this beautiful mural in my boutique, and my cousin he's an artist and he's a tattooist too. PJ Sierra,
Nice.
shout out to him. So I had him. He spray painted a mural of some horses that we grew up with and the family on one of my walls in the shop. So I was thinking, how can I get people to recognize me? How can I get people to know that this is new here and I'm here now? Come visit, see what I have to offer. It's not a whole lot right now, but it's there. So I asked him if he would be willing to do live painting for
That's cool.
for the Chili Fest, just because people like that.
Yeah.
And they all
Stop, yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
stop and they watch. And I thought, well, he has a crowd of people watching him do his art, then they'll be curious to know, like, well, what's in this booth here too. So it was kind of like one of those things that helped him, and get, his business cards out there, because he was getting his feet wet with tattooing as well. And then, same with me. So it was kind of worked out for both of us, and people were able to see that, hey, there is a new shop here. So that
that's
helped
good.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seemed like a good move. And you didn't have to use social media for it. So,
Right. Yeah, I know,
yeah.
because I'm not good at that.
No,
Yeah.
So would you say that the festivals in front of the business, like, do they help you, or does it more of hinder business?
So I would say a little bit of both. So when we, like, for the Chili Fest, that definitely helps. I mean, that's a win-win for that, because that's one of the biggest events in Pueblo. So that's one of our staples.
Yeah.
But as far as like other things,
The West Fest.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
just talking about that the other day. Like we missed those.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm,
That's interesting. Yeah.
Those haven't been around for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we had an event, for instance, a couple weekends ago, where they closed down Union for the
bike
bicycle
race, yeah.
And
That does not help business.
that hurt us
Yeah.
really, really, really bad. My sales that day were not good. I had customers, calling saying, I wanted to come in, but I can't get to you.
I have to pay $5 or whatever.
Yeah, so it was blocked off to the public, really, other than like a specific location. So that was really hard on us.
Yeah.
But, and then the bike supporters were out there, and, while they were waiting for them to come back around, then they would, oh, this is open, let's
Yeah.
go check it out. But they weren't really there for shopping,
Yeah, that's
so
more of killing time.
Yeah. So it was tough. So I had to make a decision, am I going to stay open and, eat this cost? And, my overhead is more than what it is for me to stay open at this point.
Yeah,
so
you might as well take the day off.
So I ended up closing early and doing custom orders.
That's terrible. They should really figure out that stuff should be free. If you're going to shut down like entrances to businesses, you have to pay. Like it should be free admission.
Yeah, I know.
Especially for something like that that's so specific.
Yeah.
Like people who like to watch bike racing is going to go there and that's it.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
What about like I don't know, like Reps Gym? Like what if I'm a membership there? Do I have to pay $5 to go to my gym that day?
Yeah, luckily for them, there's a back door.
Yeah, they have a back door.
They have the
that
back
they can
parking,
do,
yeah.
It's not very
Well, then
big,
that's-
Yeah, but
that's
there's a
weird too,
barber shop
so-
down there. I know they've had issues,
Yeah.
with that as well.
Yeah, like
And I
can't
think
cut
they were
someone's
just
hair 'cause-
themselves were comping the parking
Oh, really?
at that
Yeah.
point,
And
which
then the fee
it still cost them money,
Yeah.
because
Kinda
of this
the-
bike race,
Yeah.
that. I don't know why we have a bike lane that goes all the way through town. Besides
getting
you,
rid
I
of
don't
it.
know anybody else who
They're getting
bikes.
rid of it, actually.
Yeah, are they getting rid of it? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, but they proposed to get rid of
Yeah.
it. They're going to make the sidewalk bigger on
For
Union.
bird scooters? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. They just want to make it more like walkable friendly or
Oh,
whatever.
that's good.
So those scooters, I have to say, those scooters are dangerous sometimes when they, some of them will ride them on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they say like 5,000 times. Do not ride.
Do not ride on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And these kids, well, sometimes adults too, they go zooming by when somebody's walking out of the
yeah.
shop and, somebody's going to
They'll get hit.
get laid out.
Yeah.
So, I
That is a
mean,
little dangerous.
Yeah,
that's
they've only put
I don't know if it's better to
70,000 of them in the streets of
Little-
Pueblo.
I don't know if
Little
it's better that they
dangerous.
ride on the road either. You know,
Right, 'cause
like
they're everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's very very interesting. I don't know.
yeah. So, but at the same time, Pueblo needs
Something, yeah.
something, a little more things to do. And,
Yeah, I like the events. I like the birds. I like riding bikes. I like bike lanes.
Yeah.
I just think it does kind of suck that they would you have to charge a fee to go shopping.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
going to create
That's
a
some very
wall that
Cherry Creek
people-
vibes,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what is parking over there is like $10 to enter their mall. So you pay $10 before you even get inside.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to go to the Cherry Creek
Wow.
Mall.
Yeah.
Which that demographic, $10,
There's
or,
Louis
whatever.
Vuitton,
Who
Yeah.
cares?
Tesla,
I'm going to
and-
charge my Tesla
yeah.
for, really quick on a supercharger while I go
Yeah.
inside, But let's, kind of bring things full circle here. So
Okay.
we wanted to talk about the hats. I'm sure people are wondering about the hat.
So the hats. So I wore my original hat today
Nice.
as well. I'm much better than this now, though. This hat, the story behind this hat, and going back to what we were talking about, when I was asked with the shop and stuff, like, what's your niche? What do you have going? Like, what do you have to offer? Like, what's your staple? I had no idea what that even meant. I don't know,
Clothes.
yeah.
yeah, something for everybody. That's
Yeah.
what it is, and just kind of winging it. But so I really didn't have a niche, and still with that same mentality of not mentality, but it's my walk of faith of it'll come together. Things are going to come together. Like my life has been coming together anyway. Like it'll fall into place, and then I'll know. And because there's nothing more frustrating than not having that answer too. Sometimes when you should have it for something like this, and I would lay in bed at night wondering what is it, like what exactly is my niche? I don't even know what my niche is, And then I was wearing a bracelet that my grandma gave me, which are all these little stones on my hat. And I snagged it, and it broke. And I couldn't find all the pieces. So then I thought, well, I can't put my bracelet back together. What am I going to do with these now, So I had my hat and decided, put on my hat. So I just kind of went from there, and then on the brim of it, I burnt in. My writing is a lot better now with the because I use the wood burner when I draw or write on the hats, and then I torch. So this hat I did before I stepped it up and got a little torch. I used a lighter.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And I was burning it.
Okay.
So I was using a lighter and I was burning it, and then so this hat definitely has a lot of character because I just kind of threw it together, but it means a lot to me because the turquoise stones are from one grandma, and then the saying that I put on the brim of it says, "Be still and trust in Him," is something that my other grandma used to always tell me.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
So it's very meaningful to me. And then the faith, hope, and love. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's on this side.
on
One of the sides somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. So those are things that were always like instilled. And so I wear this hat with pride because of that, and because it means a lot to me. And wearing the hat and then being there in the boutique and, my market and what I have to offer, I kept having that question, who did your hat? Where did you get your hat? And didn't have the confidence to, offer it. Oh, I did it, and I didn't know what to do with the stones, and this is what I came up with. And then I had friends that started asking me, hey, will you do my hat? Can you put something on my hat? And so I was doing it for some friends, and and then my cousin, actually, she reached out and she asked if I would do one for her, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then my aunt sat me down and she said, you need to make this your thing. Like, this is your niche. You have a gift here and you're not going full force with it. Here you are offering your business, your space to other locals that have a gift and a talent and selling their things in your boutique, but you're not putting
your own
stuff in there.
Yeah, you're putting yourself on the back burner. So I decided to open it up for that, and honestly, I've been blessed. And they mean a lot to me, and the reason why they mean so much to me is because I struggle. I struggle with seeing, and I struggle with the nerve pain and I'm right dominant. So to do them, it takes a lot. I say a prayer before I do each one of them because they're all different, they're all unique, they're all custom, and they're all meaningful. And in between each hat, or underneath, I'll getting to know somebody when they order a hat. It's personal at that point. So I'll always burn something on the inside for them. That's cool. A connection that we had.
That's really cool.
So it means that much more, and it means that much more to me. Yeah. So I feel very thankful that I can. It gets frustrating because I could rely on one eye, and then when that eye is tired and blurry, then I can't.
Yeah, you got to stop.
I can't work. I have to
break.
stop.
Yeah.
I have to take a break. Or when the nerve pain is that, intense, and I can't, because the flow of
the letters,
the letters, you can't really pick up and go when you're in it. You're in it. So. And I promise, it's much better than this now.
No, sure, yeah. But like you said, they're one of one. They're something that you collaboratively come up with the idea, and then you make their vision come to life. So anything you put out there, they're going to be happy with.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
So I know we've spoke on social media and your lack of interest in it, essentially, and but you told me something when I went to the boutique that was very interesting. You said every time you post a reel about the hats, you get out of state sales.
I do.
That's super interesting to me.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I just so this last reel that I did, and then that's something that I was just introduced to. The reel gets out there more than just doing a story or a post. I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm not very good with technology and social media. But this last time that I posted a reel, I got some more. I just got another hat order out of Texas. So I'm 4 deep now with Texas orders. And then I got one from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, see, that's
So
huge.
isn't that neat?
That's the goal.
Reels
And
are so
then-
powerful, such a powerful
Yeah.
tool for social media.
So I just, I don't know what it is. Like I have to question myself because I jumped in with this business, both feet, and didn't hesitate. But I struggle with the social media thing.
Getting stuff out there. I mean, it is daunting. That is a job all in itself.
It's a part-time job to
Yeah.
run like a true social media campaign.
Yeah.
It's
Reels,
20
multiple
hours
stories.
a week.
You have,
Yeah.
feed posts, staying on theme, like
Multiple platforms: Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, LinkedIn,
all the aspect
TikTok,
ratios are different.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, it's overwhelming.
hashtags. Yeah,
It's a whole second job for sure.
It is.
That's
But-
what makes Reel so powerful, though. Is like you could post if
Minimal
you post
effort,
one reel a week on Instagram, like you'll see 1,000 plus percent increase of like who sees your stuff because
Yeah.
But
they're-
then when they do go to your profile, they need to stay because of the content that you are already putting out. You know what I mean? Like, so it's
or if
you
you're
know,
selling
yeah.
something really cool too, like
Yeah.
all you need is a website really or some way
yeah.
to get in touch with you, like the hats, you know.
Yeah.
A dude
For
I
sure.
follow, he takes Louis Vuitton bags and he makes these cool keychains out of them. And
Those are
I
neat.
finally gave in and I messaged him because he has these cool, they're Louis Vuitton, like the clasp from the duffel bag straps that he's just taking off. And he's like, these are hard to get. So, I only have a limited amount of them. And I'm like, all right, how much are they? And he's like, they're $300. And I was like, oh.
For a keychain.
I really like it though, So like, he's got me on the edge. I'm either gonna jump or just leave him on red. But like you just never know. People if people like it, they want it, and people stay
Right.
spending money they don't have. So no matter what is going on in the world, retail therapy is always there. So
Oh, heck yeah.
I'm a retail therapist myself.
Yeah.
So
Well, and not to mention, like, I get to have a girls' day
Every
every
day.
day I'm at work.
Yeah.
I've met so many wonderful people, you guys. It's amazing, like from all over. So when people are traveling and they come in, and I met this lady. She's from North Carolina, and she does like the red carpet dresses, formal dresses, and
that's
like,
perfect.
Isn't that neat?
yeah, no, that's awesome.
Like, and she was so humble. Her and her husband.
Yeah.
Super nice people, and they follow, and how's
That's
it
awesome.
going, and
Yeah.
it's really neat. And then I had this couple that came in from Texas as well, and he orders from me all the time, for his granddaughter's grandbaby, his daughter.
That's
just
huge.
because he wants to support, and he liked the vibe, and he's like, this is like back home. And so it's huge. I've met some wonderful people, and so the hats are has been my biggest thing, but I also do leather boot wraps, fringe boot wraps. They kind of dress up the boot.
Nice.
I started with the infant and toddler and the youth, and I just sent some out to Texas for some girls that are graduating from high school.
That's
so
really cool.
yeah, so I'll do real leather, and I'll do like the faux leather, and I like it. It's a lot of work. I'm trying to create something to where I can cut the fringe with one tool versus by hand with the scissors, each one, because I've got that. I
Yeah,
have to,
it hurts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Called hiring
sure.
your children or
So,
something.
I know.
Right.
Yeah,
I got a job for you.
So I'm actually trying to invent and create something so I can do that with
Make it
the
easier.
multiple blade. Yeah, so that's in the working. So
Nice. That's exciting.
maybe I'll show up on Shark Tank. I don't know.
You never know. So, besides working on the tools, what are some other goals you have for yourself and the business coming up, short, medium, and kind of long term?
So my short is making it day by day and making sure my overhead is taken care of and I can keep up with my books and accounting and all of that, because that's pretty tough.
It's huge.
And then, of course, my everyday goal too is to stay focused and stay stubborn and keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
And most importantly, make my kids proud of their mama, you know, because that's they're the reason why I'm doing this. Because circling back, you know, I lost all those things and those other things that, you know, leaving behind to my kids and not knowing if I was gonna see tomorrow or not. So they're my main focus to make this work, and I will make it work, and I'll do whatever it is I have to do and stay focused so that they will have something of me and I can leave this behind to them. What they do with it after that, that's up to them.
No, for sure.
Yeah, and then my my long-term goal, like what I really, really would love to have, is my own standalone building boutique.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So my vision with that is I want a pole barn conversion.
Nice. That would be awesome. That would be really awesome.
I would love to have. It's
probably
like that.
not as far away as you think.
I hope so.
Which is crazy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited about that. If I stay focused and keep pushing hard, and I'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just keep saying it, manifest it.
I'm gonna manifest
keep dreaming.
it.
Take more naps so you could dream
I know,
more.
right?
You know, yeah. That's
yeah,
mine and my girlfriend's idea. You know, take
Heck
more
yeah.
naps so we can dream more.
So
you know,
dream more. Yeah. Well, and then like my, I'm fueled off of doubt. Like if I'm doubted,
oh yeah.
like, oh, she's not going to do it, or
Perfect.
that's going to fail,
Yeah.
or she's not going to make it. I'll show you. I want to, and
Absolutely.
I will. Like, that's my fuel. Like, I don't like being told I can't do something when I know I'm capable of figuring out a way to do it.
No,
you know?
for sure.
So,
Yeah. Well, that's super
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm fueled by doubt and caffeine. Yeah,
Yes.
mostly, yes. Like a t-shirt.
Wait, can we cheers to that?
Yeah, I already drank mine. That's how.
Yeah. Oh, you're already done.
That's my second one.
He doesn't mess around. He's a very coffee connoisseur. But yeah,
I wouldn't
Awesome.
say that. I just drink shitty coffee all day long.
keeps him level.
The darker, the better. Is that what it is?
I actually drink. This is random, not important, but I drink dark roast because it's less caffeine. The darker the roast, the less caffeine actually. So I switched to darker roast because I knew how much coffee I consumed.
Oh.
That's actually,
Yeah.
I would have thought it was the other way around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone does. Everyone does. But yeah, the darker the roast, the more the caffeine actually gets cooked out of it, basically.
Wow.
So I only
So it's
drink
like burnt.
almost. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So I only drink. It's the flavor is obviously different, but yeah, caffeine wise, it's lower content.
Well, that's good to know. You learned
No.
something new.
There
you
you
go.
heard it here
Tidbit.
first on the Last Thing
Yeah,
Legacy
here we
podcast.
go, folks. Here
Yeah, there it is.
Here, yeah.
That
One
fact,
day I'll be on a trivia game show.
I was
and all this
expecting
work will pay off.
all this plethora of useless knowledge.
Correct.
I would have expected
Knowledge
that
of the
to come out
day.
in the Squat Coffee episode, but here we
Yeah.
are. You know,
No,
we
Here we
missed
that
it
was
by
that
one.
was the compost.
That
from
was the
Squat.
compost.
Yeah, which makes no
Yeah,
sense.
you're right.
That's
Plethora of useless knowledge with Brad. Well, we do have a reoccurring question on the show, and it's kind of the thing we want to leave for the people to think on. But what do you want your lasting legacy to be?
I had mentioned earlier that I was just going to go with it. So I would say that my lasting legacy would be that anything is possible. I strongly and truly believe that if you believe, you manifest, and you ask God to guide you, and you have faith in it and not question, that anything is possible, truly possible. Because honestly, when I said that I had very little money to start this with, I truly had very little money to start this with without the financial backing. And I believe that anything is possible, and if you stay focused and you're driven and you have that good support, then that's what it'll be. And I know that I'm putting these hats out there, and each one of them is special and each one of them is super, super meaningful. So that legacy will stay there on somebody's shelf, on their head, or whatever
Generations
it may be.
to come,
Generations to come, yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what I feel about that.
Well, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. We want to thank you for coming on and shedding your knowledge and telling your story. You know, when you told me your story, I was like, yeah, we got to have you on the podcast. You know, so
Thank you
I
so much.
wanted you to have a place where you could look back and, you know, reflect on everything as well, too, you know, and the story's all in one place. But
Yeah.
thank
I
you
appreciate
again.
it too, guys.
Of course, absolutely.
Taking time to have me here too means a lot. So I was nervous about it, but conversation, and I'm one of these ones. So
That's perfect. I told her don't stop talking. So, well, sweet. Well, this has been the Lasting Legacy podcast. All the links for her will be in the description below. And check us out anywhere you get your podcasts. Good night.